Okay guys, what you're going to need is a pair of scissors, your jeans, hot glue gun, and a little bit of patience. So first off, we're going to take our jeans, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut it in the inner part of the seam on the inside of the leg all the way up. So I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I have cut that inner part of the inseam of your jeans, and I also cut off that excess piece. You'll see it when you cut your jeans on the inner part of the leg. And what we want to do is that outer seam that's on your jeans, you just want to line it up so that the outer seam is facing you and that it's nice and flat. So what we're doing is, it doesn't matter that this is not even, but if it bothers you, you can go ahead and even it up. It's no problem. So we want to take our scissors and we basically just want to cut the jeans. And stop at that seam. So I'm going to do it one more time. I'm cutting the jeans. And if you got crappy scissors like that I do, sometimes you gotta just deal with it. I can't find my good scissors, so you know, it is what it is. But we're cutting the material right up to that seam. Now, it's up to you how thick you want your fringe. If you don't want it this thick, then by all means make it thinner. This just so happens to be a stretch jean, and it's kind of going to curl on its own anyway, so that's why I have just a little bit thick, but you get the gist of it. So you're going to do that down your entire pants legs, both pants legs, and when I'm finished with that, I'll come back. Woo! Okay, so for my project, I sacrificed 3 separate pairs of jeans only because I wanted some definition and contrast to the different colors. So I have my dark denim and I have a lighter wash denim, and I have cut the fringes in different sizes, small, medium, and large. And I have 2 pairs of pants, one dark, one light. And the third pair of jeans that I sacrificed is an old vintage pair. And don't cringe and be sad for me. These are from the thrift store. All 3 pairs of jeans that I sacrificed were from the thrift store. I paid less than $6 for all 3, so there was no loss there. And it's all about using it to make my bag. So while I was doing all of that, I had my trusty hot glue gun doing its thing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these jeans and I am going to turn them inside out, because I am making mine into a clutch and I need to close what I did. So obviously I cut the pants legs off of these jeans, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to even it across, because that'll be very helpful. If you don't feel like cutting again, you can always use your hot glue gun to make the seam across, but I just want to go ahead and take this hump that's it, like near the crouch, off. And you probably have to do one side at a time because it's a little thick. It's very easy to do. Doesn't matter if it's not all even. If you're anal about it being even, then go ahead and use a ruler. You know, do what makes you feel more comfortable. I'm an eyeball type of person. I eyeball the material, and if it works, it works. Sometimes it doesn't, you know. So I have evened out, push all the scraps over there. I have evened out that crotch part, and I want the pockets intact, because if I want to sneak little things in the pockets, I can. So what I'm going to do is I am going to hot glue this down to make a one seam. So you do it section by section, and remember that the hot glue gun is hot, and this is an all-purpose hot glue gun stick. for all types of material. That's the kind that you want to use. So I'm sorry, I'm not in the camera. I'm starting at a small corner, putting a generous amount, and then I'm taking the material and I'm holding it down. If you're like me, I'm just using a piece of the scrap material to like smooth it out and make sure that it is stuck together seamlessly. Okay, so I'm gonna do another section, because I'm doing this section by section, because as you know, hot glue guns dry, the glue dries very fast, and I want this bag to last. So I put a generous amount, and I'm taking my piece of scrap and I am patting it down to take out not only the bubbles that might have formed, but just to smooth it out. And this is what it's looking like so far. So I'm going to show you one more time. I'm taking my glue, putting a generous amount, taking my piece of scrap, and I'm patting it down, because that's going to do two things. It's going to spread out the glue and help with any bubbling or buckling from the glue. And this is how it is so far. And the good thing about using a hot glue as opposed to sewing, I mean, you could sew it if you want to, but this is a no-sew method. And this is making it nice and stiff so that at the bottom it's going to be nice and sturdy. So I'm going to finish the rest and I'll be right back. Okay, I have finished and I have turned it back the correct way from it being inside out. Now is the time to make sure that your seams are done perfectly. This is what mine is looking like from one edge to the other. And there's one important thing I forgot to tell you. If you don't want your bag this big, you can always modify it. It does not have to be this wide for you to still use that inner part, because you can always use the hot glue gun to seal the ends. But I want it to actually look like a pair of jeans. I want it to look close to being a pair of jeans as possible. Now, if you want to rock the clutch like this and put some straps on it and rock out, you are more than willing to do that. But I myself love those pockets in the front. I'm not too crazy about the pockets in the back, so this is where I will be layering my fringe on the back the back pockets. I can so mumble out. So what I'm going to do is, first I'm going to line up my fringe and position it and measure it. And mind you, I told you to keep this seam part because this is what we're using to glue. And what we're going to do is we want to reverse it towards where we're putting it. We want to forgive me, I am so mumbled, thought and mouth. We want to hot glue the fringe using this seam to put on the material. So what we're doing is I am measuring from one end to the other how it's going to sit, and then I'm going to take my scissors and cut a little bit past that just in case my measurement was wrong. And we're just going to put that extra over there for a second. So once again, what we're doing is we're taking this seam here and we're going to hot glue it to your jeans. So remember to work in small increments, and remember that this hot glue is hot, and I would suggest do it in sections. So I'm taking my small section and I am putting it on the material. Now since the seam is here, I curved mine a little bit on the edge so it didn't just start right there. And I'm doing it in small sections. So let me see if I can bring you down a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. So once again, I am trying to make sure that you see. I'm taking my small section along that seam and I'm hot glue gunning it to my jeans. And I'm just going underneath the fringe to like push it into the material, and bam, I got denim fringe. So I'm going to show you one more time. I'm taking that seam, and remember, go into do it in small sections, because you know that hot glue gun does dry super fast. That's why I love doing it, and this is why this is a no-sew method. And I am just pressing it into the material. And this is what it's looking like so far. So I am going to finish putting that first layer on, and I'll be right back. Okay guys, I have finished my very first layer of fringe, and tell me if that is not cute. If you wanted to stop here, you could. This is your thing. This is how you're going to rock it. This is your bag. So if you don't want any more fringe, then this is perfectly fine. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to alternate the different shades of denim that I have done doing just the back, and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I have done is I have left a small square of my back pocket, and since I don't like it, since I don't want that pocket to really show, and I need to make my bag just a little bit more narrow and not so wide, is that I am taking the seam of the jeans and I'm pinching a part of that back pocket and the material, and what I'm doing is I'm hot gluing by closing it like this. So I have already done this side to kind of give you a gist of what I'm talking about. I made the side a little bit more narrow. That also made the back pocket part more narrow, and that open square you cannot see, to make the bag just a little bit smaller and a little bit more narrow. And this is what we got so far. I put multiple layers of denim fringe on the bag. So I'm going to, let me show you how I'm closing this, because I was about to say I'll come back and then you're wondering how I done it. So as you can see, I have the open back patch, and what I'm taking is I'm taking that pinch of material all the way to the waist, and I am folding it to the seam of the jeans, like making them basically connect. So where that fringe is where I began, and to the waist. And I'm going to hot glue gun this together. So let's do that while I'm trying to tell you. So I'm just putting the glue on this side because it just makes sense to put it on this side. I shouldn't have went up that high, but I did. And I'm taking the material and I'm pinching it together. So I'm gonna put a little dollop right here inside that pocket where that material is, and pinch that together so it doesn't pull away. Ow, ow, ow. Remember, that glue is hot, guys. That glue is freaking hot. And what I'm doing is I'm just holding it till I feel like it's safe enough to let it go, because that's a lot of material to hot glue gun together. And as you can see, the pocket is basically staying. So I'm taking that last part of the seam and I am going to hot glue gun it right to the edge. And like I said, do it in small increments. That way, you know, the glue dries fast, and plus you don't want to hurt yourself, and plus you want it to look good. So I'm pinching that, making sure it's nice and secure. And I'm going to my next section, and I'm basically doing this all the way up to the waist. pinching it, making sure that it's binding together. And pinching it together. If you want to, you can take your hands on the inside of the bag and pinch it from there, or pinch it from the outer edge. You just want to make sure that's secure, because like I said, this is a no-sew method. We don't want to sew. We don't want to sew anything. And this is how it's looking with me doing that modification. And it's, sorry. This is what it's looking like now. It's like I can't get you far enough. This is what it's looking like now. Now that I finished the fringe, and now I can put that last piece there and my last layer for the back. So I have my piece, my last piece of fringe here. And that is going to go from the, from right under the belt loops right on across. And when I finish that, I will come back. Okay guys, here is the finished product. I freaking love how it turned out. I left the front plain. This is optional. You do not have to leave the front of your fringe bag plain. You can also layer it with fringes, but I wanted that front jean pocket look with functional front pockets, and of course the zipper and the button still works. And if you need an idea of how to close it, if you're not comfortable keeping it like this, one option is to secure the edges of the bag to a certain point, leaving a part open. That way you can still function, still use the bag as a clutch. You can take some jeans and hot glue them on as straps. And another way to do it is to lace this inseam piece of material through the belt loops. Like so, and use it as a drawstring to keep that part closed if you choose to do that. So you have plenty of options to use to close your bag. I'm leaving mine open. I love it this way. This is the back of the fringe. I love how the different colors of denim just give it the dimension, and you can still see the belt loops and stuff. And yeah, I'm loving my denim bag. I love the unevenness. If this is a problem for you, of course you can tweak it to your liking. I like the unevenness. I like the different colors coming through. I like the distress of some of the material, some of the denim being stretched and not. And yes, so thank you so much for watching. If you were new to my channel, thank you for tuning in. And if you're an oldie but goodie, thank you for supporting your girl. Please, 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 if you are inclined and you love seeing videos like this, please go ahead and give me a big thumbs up. And don't forget to share the video. And if you have comments, please leave them down below. If you have some questions or something I didn't explain, you can leave that stuff down below. And I think I did a great job. So you guys need to give me a high five. But before you give me a high five, please know this is video 1 of a 3 video series of revamping denim for the summer. Bye guys.